Hello and welcome to Not Just Disney. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you will know exactly what these coloured walls mean. Yes, it's time for episode 15 in our series of videos in which we are completing the FA Premier League using Logacta, the 1970s football simulation game played using dice. So today we'll be picking up the 9 matches that had already been postponed before the season itself was suspended. Now these matches weren't played due to conflicts with fixtures in other competitions, and it's meant that some teams are a little bit behind in playing up to the allotted schedule. These teams are Aston Villa, Man City, Newcastle and Sheffield United. They will be playing 2 games each. And some teams won't even feature in these. They've already up to the 35 matches played, which will leave us with just 3 more match days until the league itself is complete. Fortunately for me, whilst the results of the first games for each of these teams playing 2 matches may affect their league position, it won't affect the dice which I have to roll for them, because the points difference between them and their subsequent opposition are such that whatever the results are in those first games, it doesn't affect the dice I need to choose for their second game. So without further ado, let's get match number 1 underway. So it's over to the handheld camera, and the first match is one that was scheduled for the 29th of February. Aston Villa home to Sheffield United. Sheffield United have a 20 points advantage and are in form. They will be rolling brown and yellow. Aston Villa at the foot of the table, desperate for something from this match, will just be rolling the yellow die. And that's 2 to Aston Villa. Sheffield United looking to secure European football. And that's 5. Bad news for Aston Villa. The form die. That's a 0. So a 5-2 home defeat for Aston Villa, and that must surely have sunk them to relegation. But they do have another match coming up in just a moment. So Saturday the 21st of March saw a number of Premier League games not played. The first of these is Chelsea against Man City. The points difference in the Logacta League is 7 to Man City. So it'll be red for Chelsea, blue for Man City, and both teams are in form, and they'll be rolling that extra yellow die. So the red for Chelsea, 0. And the yellow die, 1. Man City rolling blue, 3. And that's a 0, so just 3 for Man City, but a good away win, and that may have secured their position as runners-up. We'll check at the table at the end of these games. Leicester City were scheduled to play Brighton. Leicester will be rolling green with a 17-point advantage over Brighton, who will be rolling yellow. And that's 5 to Leicester City. Very little Brighton can do against scoring like that. In fact, there's nothing they can do. So 5-0 to Leicester City. Liverpool are in form, and they are 29 points ahead of Crystal Palace. So Liverpool will be rolling green and yellow. Crystal Palace just the yellow. Liverpool have scored 6 goals in 2 consecutive matches. Can they continue against Crystal Palace? 0. Liverpool will be relying on the form die. They've only lost 1 game all season, remember? And that's another 0. Crystal Palace have a chance to become the second team to beat Liverpool this season. And they have. That's a 1. 1-0 victory to Crystal Palace, only the second team to beat Liverpool in the Premier League this season. So Manchester United now take on Sheffield United. So this is Sheffield's second match. Manchester United will be rolling blue and yellow as a form team. Sheffield will be rolling red and yellow. That's 1 to Man United and the form die. And that's a 1 as well, so that's 2 to Man United. One to Sheffield, so 2-1 to Man United. And that's a 1, so it's a 2-all draw. Manchester United 2, Sheffield United 2. Newcastle now take on Aston Villa. And Newcastle will be rolling the brown die. Aston Villa stuck with the yellow die. That's nothing for Newcastle. Aston Villa have a chance then. How often have we said that? And they have. They've won. Aston Villa 1-0 victors at Newcastle United. Norwich are at home to Everton. Everton have an 11 points advantage. Grey for Norwich. Blue for Everton. Norwich needs something here again. And that's a 1. What can Everton do? They're in mid-table, nothing to play for, no concerns, so perhaps they'll be free and easy. And they are. 3-1 away win to Everton. And the last match that was scheduled for the 21st of March is Southampton against Arsenal. Arsenal have a 12-point advantage. They will be rolling blue. But first of all, Southampton are rolling grey. Nothing for Southampton. Arsenal rather, rolling blue. And a good away win there for Arsenal. So the final match of this episode was scheduled for the 18th of April. It's Manchester City at home to Newcastle. Man City have a massive points advantage. It was 20 to Newcastle. So Man City will be rolling green and yellow as a form team. Newcastle just rolling the yellow. 4 to Man City, and the form die will add something to that, no doubt. No, it doesn't. Just 4 to Man City. Newcastle rolling the yellow die. 1 to Newcastle. So let's take a look at all of those results as they affect the league table. 3-1 win at Stamford Bridge for Man City confirmed them as runners-up in this Premier League season, and they also moved further away from Leicester with a second victory against Newcastle. Man United and Sheffield United played out a 2-all draw, and all that separates them is the goal difference. And here's something you don't see very often. It's the middle of the table. Congratulations to Crystal Palace for visiting Anfield and becoming the first team to beat Liverpool there this season, and in fact only the second team to have beaten them in the Premier League season so far. The only change of positions after the last 9 games comes in 7th and 8th. Arsenal climb above North London rivals Spurs. And at the bottom of the table, things have closed up somewhat. Aston Villa with a victory, now on 29 points, just 3 points away from Brighton in 17th. And Brighton's form is atrocious. They have conceded 26 goals during their 6 Logacta League games. Let's just take a look now at the fixtures for this coming Saturday. So strugglers Aston Villa, Norwich Brighton are all away. Perhaps the match to watch out for though would be West Ham against Watford, a real 6-pointer there as both teams try to hold on to their place in the Premier League. So that's just about it for today. Hope you enjoyed episode 15 in our series and want to come back and see episode 16, which will be premiered on Saturday. And that's just about it. So all that remains for me to say is thanks for watching, and we look forward to you seeing us again soon here on Not Just Disney. Bye for now.